Yo, what's up everybody? Ship here. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. We're standing by the bank, so you know what that means. We've got another build video. So in today's video, we're going to be showing off the Warlock's top build for reaping, which is add, clearing, and gambit. So that is the Sunbracer Solar build, which is an absolute menace. Guys, I'm going to show off how the build works first, and then we'll get into all the details, okay? So first things first, guys, keep an eye on my cooldowns and the kill feed for orbs. So first thing you want to do, you want to get a kill with your melee, and from there you're able to throw 5 grenades simultaneously. Okay, so guys, look at my snap, look at my grenade, all my cooldowns are back. I've got orbs of power generated, and the best part is I can do it over again. Snap, get a kill, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Okay, so it is an absolute madness. Watch, I have my snap back up again. It's insane, absolutely insane. So guys, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Next on, we move on to the armor itself and the mods you're going to be wanting to spec. Okay, so let's start with the helmet. All right, so we've got Harmonic Siphon. So because I'm running the Mindbenders, I have a solar weapon. Rapid solar weapon, final blows create an orb of power, which is wonderful. This, you can run it, whatever type of weapon, you can match it up as you like. Now, this is what's really important. Double ashes to assets. So yes, there are diminishing returns on the second mod. That being said, it will absolutely crank up your super regen, especially if you have low intellect, which is what I'm normally spec'd out to, as it doesn't change a whole lot except for cooldowns if you're just standing still, which, you know, in Gambit on this build, we're not going to be doing that very much. Next on, we move on to our Sunbracers. So we have firepower, your grenade, final blows create orbs of power. Awesome. Okay, so we are going to be making orbs like a madman with this build. All right, so remember, 5 grenades per snap kill. It's going to add up pretty quick, so you're making a lot of orbs for yourself and for your teammates. That works with armor charges. We're going to get into some more details of this, guys, in future videos, but for today, we'll leave it at that. Now, next, momentum transfer. So we're going to be running double momentum transfer. So causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown. So we have 2 of these on. Like I said, diminishing returns on the second. But what's important is with those 5 grenades, we absolutely want to be regenerating our melee 100% every single time. Okay, onto the chest piece. Guys, if you want to do reserves or whatever you like on my Titan, I sometimes run reserves because it's a little bit more tanky. On the Warlock, I'm going to be running melee damage resistance as well as concussive dampener. Fran and Zari both strongly suggested this on this build, so I'm going to go with what the lad said because these guys are, you know, top 50 players in Gambit on PC. They're incredible. Okay, so I'm going to listen to what they say there because that was a wonderful suggestion. As I'm sure you know, I main the Titan in Gambit, but this build is incredible. Next on, the boots. We've got a couple scavengers and holsters, whatever you like here. The one thing that's incredibly important is the Invigoration mod reduces melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. So we're going to be making lots of orbs, as we mentioned, as you saw. Okay, so for whatever reason, if your melee doesn't recharge, you've got Pugilist on your shotgun to recharge it, and you've also got your Invigoration as a backup just in case. Okay, on to the class item. Powerful Attraction time 2. So as I'm Phoenix diving, you'll see, guys, why I have that equipped in a second, to pick up all the orbs, and this actually gives a further blast radius in terms of being able to pick up everything. So you'll see like a wave that gets sent out as you dive. That just goes a little bit, the circumference is extended a little bit. So having 2 is nice. You'll be able to pick up more orbs. You're also going to be healing as you dive. And then our distribution, it reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. All right, so these are all the mods. Let's get into the aspects and fragments. All right, we're on to the fragments. All right, so guys, obviously we're going to be on Well of Radiance here. If you want to run Dawnblade, it's up to you. I definitely would run Well. So abilities. Phoenix Dive. So most people are going to be running a Rift. I recommend Phoenix Dive. And as I mentioned, Zari and Fran both suggested Phoenix Dive as well. So that's 3 for 3 that we would be running Phoenix Dive. So huge in terms of being able to heal yourself. But also with the mods that we saw, we're able to pick up all of the moats around us, including the one stuck in the floor, as I mentioned in our Titan video, which will be linked in the description below if you guys haven't seen that one. Next up is the jump. So completely subjective, up to you. I like Burst Glide. Next, the melee. We want Incinerator Snap. So we're going to be scorching targets, and you'll see why Scorch with this build is so important. Okay, so we want the Incinerator Snap. Then lastly, the Solar Grenade. Pretty obvious given the exotics work only with this grenade. Okay, so that's what we want for our abilities. Next on, our aspects. So I like Icarus Dash and Touch of Flame. A lot of people will run Heat Rises. If you're going to sub Heat Rises into this, because you prefer it, sub it in for Icarus Dash. We absolutely want Touch of Flame. Under no circumstance do we unequip this. All right, so the reason being is our Solar Grenade, it increases the lingering duration. It also periodically emits blobs of lava around its perimeter. So, right, so we're going to be throwing 5 of those at a time. Think about how much burning that is and how much scorch, how much, it's just pure destruction, as you saw in our little demonstration. Okay, in terms of Icarus Dash, I much prefer this for movement. I'm not a big fan of floating in the air with Heat Rises, but completely up to you, all right? But I do prefer Icarus Dash, so that's what I would suggest. Now, the Fragments. Okay, guys, a lot of people spec into the Fragments solely for their stats, okay? I'm going to ask you, moving forward, for me, please ignore the stats here if it's going to negate your stats here, okay? Because these fragments are what makes this build so strong. So first, Ember of Ashes. You apply more scorch stacks to targets. So our snap, our grenade, there is just more burning, and you'll see here why scorch is so important. So next, Ember of Searing. Defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite. So we'll know, if you don't know what a fire sprite is, fire sprites help reduce the cooldown of your class ability, melee, and grenade. Okay, so we're going to be generating melee energy and creating fire sprites just by scorching targets. Okay, so we scorch more targets, we're going to be creating more melee energy by that scorch. Okay, the last one is Ember of Singeing. Your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. Okay, so our Phoenix Dive is going to come up as we're scorching. You'll literally see the bar regenning, like it's like almost like driving, you know, a big SUV and watching the gas tank go down. It's the opposite. Now, lastly is Ember of Resolve. So Solar Grenade Final Blows cure you. Okay, Zari and Fran both stress this. This is not something that I thought was imperative, but they both mentioned because of how in the fray of it you are, and you don't have necessarily the same survivability as a Titan on like the Arc Titan. This is huge. Okay, so definitely Ember of Resolve, as you saw in play. This build is a monster. All right, absolute monster. Guys, I will leave you with the build. I'll leave you with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, please, if you did enjoy, it was helpful in any way, please drop the like, please drop a subscribe, and leave a comment if there's any other videos you'd like to see me cover on the channel. It's my absolute pleasure. Guys, I'll leave you for today. I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.